right, so we will call to order the Magip Board of Directors meeting for February 25th, 2025 at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Just gonna confirm that we have a quorum. Counted you guys a couple times and we have a quorum, so we're good. Wanted to know if there's any revisions to the agenda.
Yeah, Gail, if we have time at the end before we adjourn, just a kind of a quick little Marl's recap or debrief. So, but if we don't get to it, it's fine. We can always talk about it in March too. So,
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
And then is the insurance on here?
It is not on here, I don't think.
If we have time for that.
Okay, when is that due, Nate? We might want to put that first.
Yeah, it's due April 20th. So we do have a little bit of time, but I guess we
Okay.
only have one more board meeting before then. So
Okay. Well, let's just see how the time goes, and if we have time, we'll add it, and if not, then I'll put it on the agenda for March. Right. So we need to have somebody make a proposal to approve the January 2022 meeting minutes. Anybody have any changes?
I'll
Document up here too, if anybody wants to take a look at it.
I'll move to approve the January minutes.
Right,
I'll
do I
second
have
that.
somebody to thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hi.
Okay.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, say nay. All right. So the January 22, 2025 meeting minutes are approved. So let's move on to the new business, the Montana State University Earth Sciences Student Colloquium. So Jackson put together the agenda for this meeting. I had to be away for some personal family business. So I think that he might have been the one that wanted to run this, but Jeff, I saw that you also had sent that email out, and there have been a number of emails that have gone back and forth with Jackson about this. Does anybody
Yeah.
want to take the lead on that?
I'll take
Oh,
it.
is that Mike? Thank you, Mike.
So when we got the invite, I had wrote up a few words on accepting it and telling him, yeah, we're more than happy. And I sent it to Jackson. I think I sent it to you, Gail, and I sent it to somebody else. I think maybe Helen. And just to get their feedback on what I wrote. We didn't send anything out. Then there was a couple other emails back and forth, and it got, because I thought Jackson would have the easiest way of getting a hold of people over there. And he said he would move forward with talking to them. And that's about where it's been left at. And then IFC, we've gotten another email from them asking for us to be judges again, which that means that we just haven't sent anything out to anybody yet. So I believe
Okay.
that's where we're at with that.
Yeah, that sounds as that's my memory as well. I guess the other thing is I saw that Helen sent an email today saying she'd be interested in being a judge, and then just on the back and forth with those emails with Jackson, he was also saying that they might need somebody to be on their career panel, and I had mentioned to him that I would be happy to do that. I'm in town, and that I could probably get a couple of other local people to be on that as well. But it does sound like we maybe need to follow up with that. Jenny has also been really active in that. So Mike, were you planning on coming over for that, or just sent the letter? I did see the letter that you sent. That was great. Thank you.
Well, again, I did not send the letter. I just sent it
Oh,
to
you
you,
didn't
Jackson.
send it.
I didn't send
Oh, my
anything to
apologies.
anybody.
Okay.
I just sent it to people to revise and put in their input on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I haven't sent anything out yet. If we need somebody, I can come out, I guess, but I wasn't thinking about doing that, but I certainly can step up if need be.
Yeah, I don't think so because it would be Jackson, Jenny, Helen, me. Yeah, I think that's 4 people that are here and we only need to have 3. So I guess the next step would be to send out the letter. If everybody would like to read it, Mike, you could just send it to the Magip board email just so we can just peruse it and then we could get it sent out. Does that sound okay?
Here we go. It would be okay, but again, I'm not gonna be back in the office until March 1st or 2nd or whatever, so it'd probably be better if somebody else would jump on that and get it out there faster than I can. But if
I
it
can do
doesn't
it.
happen, yeah, if it doesn't happen until then I can do it, but
Nope, I'm happy to take the lead on that. I will send it. So tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna send the email to everybody through the Maggot board Gmail account, and then just so that you guys can take a look at it and provide any feedback. And then once I've given you a couple days to respond, then I'll go ahead and send it out. And I'll work with Jackson. Jackson felt really bad about not being able to be here today, but his TA got sick at the last minute. So, okay. Is there anything else about the Montana State University Earth Sciences Student Colloquium that we'd like to talk about at this board meeting? All right, let's move on to the next topic. It's the election committee update. And Mike, I actually have your calendar up here. So if you want to take that as well, that'd be great.
well, hopefully this is self-explanatory. But yeah, this is what we have all open. Vice President, President, and past President, Treasurer, Secretary, Tech, and scholarships are all up this year. And then also we have a special election for Jackson. And then these are the dates that will pretty well fall out pretty good for our schedule and everything. But I don't think we need to wait, like I said in the first part here, April 7th, that is the last day to send out invitations. We certainly don't need to wait that long. We could certainly start talking about it to people now. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to wait till the very April 7th to sign those out. We could certainly send it out a week before, sometime in March, maybe. But I think the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory, so get the word out, people.
Yeah, I actually think this is a really, really important topic and like to spend a little bit of time on it. Rob, I saw your note that you needed to jump off at 2:30. Was there anything on the agenda that you needed to give us an update for?
I didn't see anything on the agenda.
Okay.
But since I'm here, I just wanted to be open to anything you might need from me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's finish the discussion about the elections. Does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns about the timeline that Mike put together? I think this is a fantastic breakdown of everything that we went over in the January meeting, outlined really nicely. The schedule, I think, falls really nicely with everything else that goes on with the Maggot board meetings. The only thing that I had a comment about is I would really like to see this get out on social media to let people know that we have these openings. Does anybody have any comments or questions about that, concerns about that?
I think it typically has happened, but you're probably right, Gail. It probably needs to happen earlier. I think the unfortunate part now is Alicia is going to be out until the 2nd, I think. Michelle, are you on? Is it the 2nd or the 3rd? Is she out until of
Is
March?
that March?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step out for a minute. Yeah, she'll be back. I think she was gone a week, so she'll be back Monday, the 3rd.
Yeah, because I mean, we have a couple things in the hopper as well for that we were wanting to announce for the conference, but we can't really do it without, with our graph. I mean, we've done. I mean, we could just push out to the website, but sometimes we like to push the website out with the graphics as well. So, yeah.
I would agree with that. I mean, I feel like this is a really important topic, probably one of the most important topics that's coming out from Magip and preceding the conference. Jeff, what else do you have that's in the hopper that needs to go out? Like, I guess in terms of blasts out through social media, is there an order that you feel like?
Well, Michelle's going to send something out, I think tomorrow or Thursday, kind of like
Okay.
just like deadlines, reminders. We have a lot of deadlines coming up. Full schedule is going to get released. We want to announce that we're going to have the Monday night meetup at Mount Ascension. Because we were able to completely talk them off or Michelle and Kim were able to completely talk them off of a rental fee.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, typically if you're going to spend the money, if you let them know you're going to spend that amount of money, they usually will waive it. So they were really good about it. Yeah.
That's very, very cool. Okay. So, and it sounds like those are going to go out this week. So when Alicia comes back, can we work with her to do some graphics? Or Jeff, I'm seeing you like maybe there's something else that's more important.
well, yes. I mean, I think the stuff the stuff will be sent out through email this week by Michelle, but
I
I
got it.
think we kind of have to wait for social media until after she gets back. So, oh yeah, in the learning lab too, information about that's going to be stuffed in that email that Michelle is. It seems like it's going to be an ever longing email. So.
Yeah, I'll just send the general email we always send leading up to the conference that has all of the, the reminders and the kind of the key highlights. And then we typically follow with individual social media posts about each thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we always send out an email prior to nominations opening with what is open on the board and what is coming up in the election.
Right.
Okay.
And when do you, so
Okay.
are you trying to figure out when to send that? I mean, aside from the conference, are you trying to figure out when to send the election notice? Is that what you're talking about?
So what I would like to see go out is a notice, and this is just me, so tell me if you guys have other ideas about the board positions that are going to be opening. And it doesn't have to be the first week of March, but it looks like nominations open April 7th. So, I mean, like I could see that opening going out 4 weeks before the open for nomination. I think we would also want to include when the nominations start. So it would be the open board of director positions, call out for that special election. I'm going to call it a special one for the president for Jackson's position. And then that the April 7th date is when the nominations open. So I just would like to get this out here because this is a lot of positions to fill. I mean, I think that this is sort of unusual, maybe unprecedented to have this many positions just because it also includes the president position.
I wondered about that. It seemed like a lot all at once, like a complete sweep, essentially.
It's not, if we go back, sorry, I've got it open somewhere. I've got so many things open, I can't even find anything anymore. Hold on just a second, let me go to my other, see where it is. This is today's agenda. Let's go to sorry, I hate to click anything because if I click on anything, I'm gonna lose it. Let me just go back here.
So it rotates. So I think I mean, it adds, just because we have that extra position, it kind of adds to it as well. But on odd number of years, we have 5 openings typically. Even numbers, we have 4. This year, we just happen to have 6 because we didn't fill the vice president last year. So.
Yeah, and if you go to that January 22, the meeting minutes, it'll outline in there like who's sorry, it's actually the agenda for the January meeting. It outlines who's staying and whose roles are ending. So if I can remember, my role's staying, Helen's is staying, Jeff is staying. Sorry, there's another one that's
It's technical and the
No,
Rob's
Megan,
Rob's is up.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
Megan
Rob
is
is that.
staying.
Yeah,
how
Megan's
do I
staying.
do that?
Megan, there it is. There it is. So
Like,
there
like-
are a couple positions that are staying. Go ahead, Rob.
When do we have the, like, so let's say I want to do it again. Do I nominate myself or how does that work? It seems new to me.
As soon as we put the nominations out, whenever that is, at the very latest, it'll be April 7th. But according to Gail, she would like to do it a month early, which is fine. I don't see a problem with that at all. As soon as those go out, you certainly send me an email saying you're nominating yourself or whatever, and then I'll put you on the list. So,
Typically, we've had a survey that people submit and it doesn't go to you, Mike.
oh, you're right. I forgot about the survey. Oh yeah, I gotta clean that up. Yeah, you're right, Megan. Okay.
I
No,
think
no,
it's a
you're right.
nomination, yeah, I think it's through Wild Apricot, right, Megan? It's just a nomination form through Wild Apricot.
Oh no, we
No,
use Survey Monkey
yep.
and now we'll use Survey
Use 1, 2, 3,
but then we
yep.
use Wild Apricot to vote.
For the ballot.
Oh,
Right,
race.
right. That's
It's
right.
we-
That's right.
Yeah,
Thank
We
you,
have
Megan.
another-
You're right.
Yeah, I think the other association I work for just does their nominations through Wild, like they have a nomination form through Wild Apricot, so I was confused.
Right. So in that email that we send out to everybody, they'll have the link for the survey, 1, 2, 3. And then that's where they do their nomination right there, Rob.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Megan, for reminding me that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I-
there's an option to nominate yourself in that survey too, if I remember right.
Yes. I think so.
Yeah, and just to be clear, Mike, I don't know that we need to open the nominations before April 7th. What I really want to do is send out the information that those positions are open so that people can be starting to think about it. If that means we open the nominations earlier, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an opinion about that. I just feel like this is a lot of positions to get filled. And I think the earlier we start sending that out to the mega membership, the better off we're gonna be.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. But I think once we start sending out, I mean, I guess I could send an email out just to the membership saying, hey, look, elections will be coming up soon. But I think within a month there or of April 7th, so in the next couple of weeks, I think probably send out a big blurb with the survey 1, 2, 3 and say, look, it's open. We can start getting people to come in and nominate people.
Okay,
I mean, I don't see a problem with that.
okay. Yeah, I'd like to do that. And maybe that's just when are you back in the office, Mike?
I'll be in on Monday.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Let's you and I work together to get that yeah, to get that together. I'm most concerned, like I want to get the social media stuff put together. And maybe Jeff, is that something that you work with Michelle with regard and Megan regarding social media? Do we just reach out to Michelle directly? I want to coordinate it somewhat so that we're not like hammering Alicia when she gets back.
Well, that's the one thing I want to bring up is that Alicia only has a certain amount of time that's allotted for us in the contract.
Yeah.
I understand that, and we brought this up last year that during conference time, it gets a little bit more and more. But I mean, we have an awful lot that she's been doing, and she's going to be doing a lot more. But yeah, so just keep that in mind.
Okay, Michelle.
We may want to think about like what specific dates, especially once we get like a few weeks out, like what specific dates gets posted for once, because there's gonna be probably that much material that needs to go out.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely work with her on the conference stuff and Jeff and I can work on a timeline for those to go out.
Yeah.
if there's anything outside the conference, then, I mean, I can help coordinate that, with her, but I just would need some guidance from whoever is leading to say, when do you want it to go out? What's the timing?
Hey, Jeff, I'll work with you to make sure that we get the timing right. And then Mike and I will work together to talk about what we want to put in the post, and we'll coordinate it with you. I mean, like, we'll all talk. It won't be a secret. Okay,
Sounds good.
awesome. Thank you. All right, let me make sure I'm on the right agenda here. Is there any other comments or concerns about the election? The updates for and the timeline for the elections? No. Okay. All right. We are a little bit behind. Eric, can you give us the MGAC update? It's nice to see you.
Our next meeting
Let's
is
go.
until March, so at least the scheduled meeting. So really haven't had any update, and haven't seen. We had at least one update from Jenny regarding legislative issues. I haven't seen anything recently though. So other than my election board, my election director is jumping all over one that's going to make us have to do some work, but that's about it. So I really don't have anything to add for council at this point.
I did see an email from Jenny yesterday announcing that the grants will also not
Yeah,
continue.
there was that. That's true. There was that email. I apologize. Yeah. Figured that went to the Magip listserv as well. So
Yeah, is there any update on what's happening with regard to the funding for that?
No.
I know that
basically what the email says, it's just not the revenue's not coming in based on filing fees and stuff like that. So they'll take a look again in a couple of months, and council, like you said, they'll present at the September 2025 meeting to council. So we'll learn more then. So
do you
guess
know
we
if
just
they're
need to
looking
get,
at
we need interest rates to come down so people start refinancing again.
are they looking at any other kind of revenue options to create?
If so, I've not heard about it.
Okay.
I don't recall. I don't think that came up in any of the conversations that we had back in January. So unless you guys at the state library have heard anything differently.
We haven't had.
I think her budget, the state library's budget, was heard really early in the session, and from if I recall, she sounded pretty positive about that. So
Yeah, we're pretty close on that being finalized, I think.
yeah.
But yeah, I haven't heard anything on other revenue streams.
Okay, Rob just had to pop off, so. Okay, thank you. I would actually just say that during the summer in July, when there was a strategic planning event, they had discussed looking at some other options, and I guess I'm a little bit disappointed that they haven't brought any of those forward, but maybe they're still just considering them, and there are a whole bunch of other things that probably need to be taken into consideration. So thank you, Eric. Does anybody have any questions for Eric regarding the MGAC update? Okay. All right, then we will move on to the local government SIG update. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, can you hear me all right? Okay. Well, we had a really good February meeting last week where we had two different speakers talking about two different perspectives on the Montana Land Use Planning Act. And prior to the meeting, I had some questions from folks about whether they'd be able to cover any other planning updates besides just that one piece of legislation. And the collective answer was we need to wait on that because they want to make sure that any updates to the planning area in the 2025 legislature get finalized after the session is over to see if they make any modifications to the other planning statutes that got passed in 2023. And once those things are finalized, then Danny, at least from the state, indicated that she'd be happy to schedule another follow-up meeting later in the year and provide more guidance on those other statutes, because some of our GIS folks were in contact with their planning staff and mentioning that, you know, this overview of the Land Use Planning Act was happening at this time. And so if nothing else, they know there's some interest from the planning departments and how GIS can integrate with them. But it was very well received, and matter of fact, this year's topics have all been really well received, from the Orion SQL databases in January to this one next month. Gail, you and your team will be on the spot for sharing about USPS, and that seems to be a very hot topic in terms of communication and partnerships. And looking ahead, I've got the county lined up for, Missoula County lined up for talking about how GIS integrates with floodplain management. I have a colleague from Missoula County on that. And then after that, Gail, I think if I haven't already said that to you and Jeff, that I'd be happy to work with the conference keynote on integrating the roundtable with that topic around, I think you said AI and local government in GIS. Is that correct?
Yeah, Jeff, we had talked about that. So our keynote speaker from Esri, do you know, I guess my first question would be, local government SIG is having a meeting during the conference. Do we have them on the schedule?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be Wednesday morning. I think I informed you, Andrew, when your SIG was gonna be. I think it's at 9 o'clock. But yeah, I gotta set up a meeting with Keynote again. Touch base with Scott. I can include you, Andrew, if you want.
Sure.
It's probably going to be sometime in March. Sometimes it's almost 2 weeks out to sometimes connect with him. He's that busy. So we're probably looking at a couple weeks from now. But I think that would be a good time to kind of just touch base with him, see what he needs. So when he's
Sure,
coming,
yeah.
just to confirm some things too, when he's coming in, and because we also have him on the schedule for Wednesday afternoon after his keynote. He's going to be doing another kind of a deeper dive session.
Right, and if there's always the possibility he declines, and I have a backup topic in mind just in case it happens. So,
Yeah,
but
that's good.
either way, I don't have anything formally booked for after the conference and after June, but I think that, you know, I've at least got a couple ideas in terms of the future planning statutes later on once the state legislature gets over. And there's a couple other ideas, like following up on the experience builder with Esri, to see what progress has been made by other people in the in local government since the past experience builder one, and seeing if he can provide any kind of expert feedback or suggestions on that. So I might reach out to him and see if I can get something on the books for later this year.
Andrew, did you say what you have scheduled for May?
For May, yes, I've got my colleague Matt Heimel, who's the Missoula County Floodplain Administrator.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So beyond that, I'm not scheduled anything formally for the year, but I at least have some good ideas for what to look for. But I think I also just need to reach out to Helen, see if she has some ideas too from the Membership Development Committee. So I'm feeling good about this year.
Oh, good.
And-
I'm glad to hear that.
Andrew, are you still thinking about going still with once a month?
So far, you know, it kind of depends on the next couple months if I
Okay.
am starting to run short on ideas, and not finding enough topics, then yes, I could consider dropping into every other month. But I'm holding hope that if nothing else, I will shake down the trees around at the conference and say, hey, if you want more of this stuff, bring it up. So
It's good point. Holding to the fire a bit.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Andrew regarding the local government SIG schedule? Okay. Andrew, if you reach out to me, Helen was actually in Switzerland skiing of all things, and she's probably catching up today. But I know she was really excited to help you. So if you remind me, we can set up a meeting and let's talk about maybe putting together some topics together for July and the end of the rest of the year. Okay. I mean, I think there's plenty of topics. We just need to make sure that we get people enlisted to speak. And to your point, the meetings have been really well received, and the presenters have been outstanding. So well done. Thank you. Okay, so next on the agenda, we're a little bit behind conference planning committee updates. We have Jeff and Tessa regarding the tech sessions, and then Michelle regarding logistics. So Jeff, you're up.
Okay, there'll probably be some overlap between Michelle and I's, but I'll
That's
try to
okay.
keep it brief for all you. So Monday night, as I mentioned, we do have a location, Mount Ascension. We do also have a sponsor this year too. It's
Nice.
been a couple years since we've had a sponsor. Bozeman, there was Power Engineering. But Terracon will be sponsoring. They have both a Missoula and a Billings office. I think Brett Orr is his name, I think. And registration numbers are looking good, I think, for this time of year. It's up to 43. I think the last our planning call last week there was only 30, so we're already starting to see an uptick. I do not know the workshop numbers. Michelle will have to probably present those. We got 5. We did get a new poster submission today, so we're up to 5. 15 sponsors, so that's new. We've had a couple new ones. WET, Esri, Geographic Business Solutions, State Library, and 95 West Aerial Mapping is the 5 new ones. Is that 5? Yeah. So we're looking pretty good there.
One thing, Jeff, I just want to say that I did talk to Nearmap. They were not planning on sponsoring this year, just so you know.
Okay. And Michelle, do you recall who was interested in sponsoring but didn't want a booth? Was that
There's been a couple. And did you get Esri on there?
Yeah. Morrison Merrily is interested in sponsoring in some capacity.
Right.
So we're thinking probably a coffee break for them.
Yeah.
Full schedule should be released tomorrow in the full email by Michelle. Then the student and early professional development roundtable. I think most of you know that we're doing this. We're going to do this Wednesday morning when the MSU crew gets there, and we're going to do it right after the welcome address, and kind of just do it in the same setting. So people that want to go upstairs and do because we do have 3 other presentations going on at the same time as that. So probably more of the professionals will head upstairs. Kind of some of the sponsors that we've invited, and the students will kind of just stay put. So I think that'll be kind of a good setting for that. I think that pretty much covers it. I think Tuesday night's gonna be the same as normal. Wednesday night's gonna be the same minus our 2 awards. We're not gonna obviously give those out, but do trivia and the awards that we do have, the poster awards. And then I think Rob dropped off, but if we're ready to announce the grants, we can certainly do it at that setting as well. So, and then keynote is set, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have. So.
Okay, Tessa, you're up.
There we go.
Mhm.
Yeah, nothing too much. Thanks to Jeff and Michelle for all your help, but workshops are live, workshops are posted. I don't know how many people have signed up for these. Hopefully Michelle has numbers on that, sounds like. But yeah, it's all there. We're full.
Have any questions for Tessa?
Thanks, Tessa. It
Okay.
looks great.
Yeah. Jeff did all the website stuff, so wasn't all me. But yeah, that it came together, and registration's open, right? So hopefully people are signing up already.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few people in there. So
Sweet.
and Kara did email both of us there, Tessa, and I did respond to her. They were essentially just looking for an update on the geospatial ones, and I told her we weren't quite ready. Be like, kind of just be patient. But I think once we get the full schedule released, I think the numbers will really come after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, well, I guess the other board members might not know this. So Kara did kind of put like a number. I think she said like 8 or 9 or 10. I can't remember what it was.
10.
10, yeah. And then she did kind of tell me if it was close, she would keep it. So that arcade class that's on Fridays kind of got a soft number of whether or not it's going to go or not. So that's kind of to be continued, but I don't think anyone's signed up for it yet. So
Okay. Alrighty. Sweet. I posted that link in the chat to the workshop page. But yeah.
Thank you, Tessa. Okay, Michelle, other logistics?
Yeah, I don't have a lot more to add other than what Jeff said, and that again, I think I sent an update out a few days ago, but we're really ahead of where we were at last year on pretty much everything. On the we have more registrations now than we did at this time last year, more sponsors at this time than we did last year. So, I think we're a little ahead of where we were, and typically the numbers usually push up right around that early bird deadline. And I have seen people in there signing up for the workshops. I haven't exported that information yet, but I sure can. It's a little early yet because it's not going to give a lot of information because there's only 43 people registered. So I think, giving it a little more time closer to that early bird deadline, we'll have some better numbers. And then the only other thing I had noted, and we talked about it at our planning meeting, was just making sure we think through like room moderators and room monitors and / moderators for each of the rooms. And if and how we can get students involved in helping with that.
We should chat with Jackson about that when he's
Yeah.
planning on bringing the students over and if they're interested. And is there any kind of compensation for that? I mean, we're
No.
already doing, okay. But we're already doing, I don't know, whatever it is, I don't even want to call it a scholarship because it gets so confusing. But the last time I chatted with Jenny, she said she hadn't gotten any hits on that. So maybe we just need to have a conversation with Jackson. Excuse
That
me.
sounds good.
Okay. All right. Anything else for Jeff, Tessa, or Michelle?
Yeah. Then our next meeting is March 5th. We're having 2 calls in March.
Okay.
I think the other one's later that month, like maybe the 17th
The
or so.
19th.
19th, yeah. Just trying to do some quick math there, but
Okay. Thank you very much. So it sounds like we've got 2 other things on the agenda. If we don't hit insurance, that's okay. But if we could get an update on the Marls conference, Mike and Jeff both attended. Anybody else attend? Nope.
yeah, I guess I can go first there, Mike. So yeah, we probably didn't have a ton of people come by the booth, but we had some good conversations. Mike was right next to the state library one that Michael Fashway and I were manning. A lot of our stuff disappeared, so I think that's always a good thing. Our swag stuff is people are going to be using it, and especially the koozies. Mike, after you left, there was a bunch more koozies that went off the table because we are having a little social thing. So I think branding is always important to think in this sort of thing. And the notebooks too. I mean, we essentially sold out of the rest of our notebooks that Michelle sent over to me from the Billings conference.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, we probably need to talk about later, probably going into budget stuff, how much what new stuff we want to, I mean, we'll probably just take the leftovers from the conference, but is there anything new that we want to offer for next year's conferences? But just to kind of probably just use what's left over from the conference is I think definitely our ideas if we're not going to spend above that. But I think we'll just have to wait and see if there's going to be anything left after we spend what we have for the conference.
I have to weigh in. I love these leather Magip coasters.
Coasters,
so
yes.
much. I have 2 of them and I like treasure them, and I get mad when like Curtis accidentally uses mine or something, So anyways, I'm just letting you know I'm personally hoping there's coasters in my future.
Yeah, I know another idea too that we have not done is like the steel pints. I know those are good for camping and stuff, but probably not to keep them out on the table. Kind of like what we've talked about. If we have good conversations with people, or a select number of ones that we hand out to people, so probably just being more conservative with handing out swag, and I guess make people earn it versus just having it out on the table and it just disappear when you're not there. So.
My friend Jeremy said he really enjoyed getting to know you guys at that conference. So thanks for taking him under your wing.
Yeah, Jeremy's pretty cool. Yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah,
not a problem.
Right. Mike, did you have anything to add?
No. Jeff was there more than I was, so that pretty much spelled it out. I mean, he's right. We didn't have a whole lot of traffic, but there was a lot of good conversation though. So I was happy about that. And I found out that we are getting promoted. Some people in their sessions was promoting GIS and promoting our relationships with Marls and mentioning a few things that we haven't really agreed to yet that we need to talk about, but it's good to hear that's getting out there a little bit. So
do we want to put that on the agenda for March? Is that something that we need to talk about?
we eventually need to talk. It's about the organizational partnerships and what exactly are they doing, and what we have to fill out. We should have some kind of web page describing what the benefits are being a partner with us, and this is different from being an organizational member. Something like that. Yeah, we should probably have something we should probably start spilling it out other than just swapping booths, which I think we're moving beyond that now. So
yeah, well, especially with the pricing of the member pricing, if both Maps and Marls, which I think Marls is pretty much without actually confirming it, they've agreed to it verbally, but yeah, I think it'd be a great thing for the 3 memberships to essentially be able to kind of attend each other's conferences at the membership rate, because especially for Marls, there's a pretty big difference. So even ours, it's like double.
Yeah.
It's a few $100s more to attend as a non-member. So
yeah, I don't know what it would take to do that Wild Apricot, or if the person needs to alert everybody to say, hey, look, I am part of Marls. I should be getting a membership rate. I don't know what that takes, or if we gotta tweak something in our inner workings of our stuff. I don't know.
Partnership rate.
Yeah, or something like that. Or Michelle, any thought on that?
Would they be getting a free membership, or like a reciprocal membership, or like a discounted membership?
No, because they're members at Marls or Maps, they would essentially be able to come to our conference if we all agree to it. We haven't agreed to it yet either.
Right.
They'd be able to come to our conference at a member rate. So
you could
so kind of a discounted rate.
Yeah, we could just create a separate category and create a registration code for them.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this moving forward. So yay, good job, everybody. And also, I really apologize for being late. I have no idea why I didn't get a calendar notice, and I didn't even see what time it was. So
You're stuck in a different time zone there.
I know. I've been in the Swiss time zone for a while.
Right,
but
right.
yeah.
Really quickly, I just am curious. I kind of like to get a show of hands or just a nod of heads. We can have this conversation at the March meeting. I think that pretty much fills the agenda based on some other things that we've been talking about. One thing that I would be concerned about, though, is having this conversation prior to the new board coming on, because we have March, April, May, and then it's the new board that comes on in June. So March is going to be finishing up conference. We could potentially talk about it at the board or at the conference board meeting or the member meeting. I feel like this probably isn't the place for that conversation, but we could also do May. Just interested in getting some feedback about that. How are you guys feeling?
Conversation about what? Sorry.
About the organizational partnerships.
Oh,
Like what that would entail. I mean, I feel like Mike, you have been the strongest proponent for building these partnerships. And I'm not sure what your plan is for.
Does that mean
because
I'm
you're-
for it or against it?
Or
I'm okay, advocate, okay.
There
Okay,
you
good.
go.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page there. Yeah, I am, but do I have a plan for
Yeah.
this? No, I don't. I
Yeah.
think it's a great idea, and every time we
Okay.
want to move forward, I feel like we got some other things coming up that, we kind of put it on the side, and it's I had Megan put up the logos for Marls and Map on our conference page, thanking them for being an organizational member or a partner. And then she was asking, well, should we explain that? And I'm like, not right at the moment, but yes, we should.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, it needs to happen. So
Yeah.
Like
I
I
don't.
had some ideas for maybe just like a mini few sentences on that we could add to the page to highlight these like professional organizations that we're partnering with, as a resource for our members and their members. So I will go ahead and get you a short paragraph sometime, probably not this week, but sometime next week, and then maybe send it to the team and you guys can edit to your heart's delight. And I think it would be wonderful to have something on the website to highlight these organizations because they did agree to the booth trade. They're already, championing our partnership at the Marls conference, and I would love to do the same and highlight that for our members as a benefit. We're really trying to bring them diversity of network and content and all that. So
yep, perfect.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
and Gail,
I'm going to add it.
sorry.
So go ahead.
I can't figure out, I don't know if I can't raise my hand in here because I'm an admin or not, but just really quick, I know it's for later discussion, but just to give you guys an idea of what we do with some of our other associations with their partnerships with other organizations is they don't have any kind of a formal contract or anything like that, but they do have just like maybe a one-page memo of understanding, just like an MOU with each other that just kind of lays out kind of what the purpose of the relationship is or what each organization can expect out of it. And it's exactly what you're talking about. It's like the booth swap, discounted rates on membership, maybe sending out, if they have some information, some kind of information they want disseminated to our members, we're willing to send that out to them. Just
Right.
those kind of things, but it's just all lined out in an MOU. So there's just no question about it. So just something to keep in mind.
Could you share those with us? Are you in a position that you would be able to share the MOU with us?
I can find out. Yeah.
Okay, that would be lovely. I mean, it's easier to have something to start with rather than starting from scratch. So I will go ahead and add that to the agenda for March, as well as the comments from Megan and, sorry, I have something else. Jeff, are you gonna do swag in the conference meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna
Is
start
that the
talking
next
about it
meeting?
probably at our next
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, so the other thing is, the Earth Science Colloquium, we'll get more information from Jackson about that. The last thing is insurance. We have 2 minutes. Nate's still on the call. Rob has already jumped. If everybody has time, I'd like to have Nate pop up and give us a nice hat. There you are. Go
Thanks.
ahead, Nate. Tell us about the insurance.
Yeah, so our insurance, our directors and officers insurance is up for renewal in April. I think April 20th. So, yeah, and I sent out a summary and the proposal that was provided to us. And I just tried to summarize it in an email. And yeah, it looks like people have questions. So I just sent those questions along to our rep. And so I'm just waiting to hear back on some of those answers. So yeah, no real update right now unless people have questions.
I've already asked the questions that I had via the email, and Megan actually had asked them. I saw that Tessa just hopped off. Here's what I'd like to do. If you guys have any additional questions for Nate, if you would get them to him in the next couple of days. And then Nate, if you're okay with it, we'll let you give an update at the next meeting regarding the answers. I'm sure that we'll hear through email the responses, but then we'll just have you give a formal just update next at the next meeting in March. That works
right.
for you. Put you at the beginning of the meeting, and we'll talk about any questions or concerns. All right.
Hey, Nate,
Any other?
yeah, I got a quick question for Nate. Are they pretty responsive or do you have to sit and wait a long time?
They're pretty responsive, yeah, within a day.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Sent you my answers to the question.
Okay. All right. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay. All right. Do we need to have a formal request to end the meeting?
I'll move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor, say aye. To adjourn the meeting.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, say nay. All right. All right, you guys, great meeting. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.